Perfect. I think we got YouTube up finally. I haven't been really streaming on other platforms, to be honest. I think I should do more often. TikTok's cool and all, but why not do other platforms? Alrighty, guys. Now you guys have my attention after I kind of spent the first few minutes just yapping about nonsense. Just yapping. Anything trading? Perfect. Alrighty. Let me also get this to record. Perfect. So, what is tonight's topic? I'm going to be teaching on something today. I just dropped a video, a TikTok about this concept, this setup, which is the AMD slash Power of 3 setup. So, I figured why not do a deeper, in-depth video kind of thing right now. So I'm streaming this as is. I'm also recording it, so you guys, it's gonna be the after. For those who couldn't make the stream, the after of what pretty much this setup is, and I'll kind of tell you guys how I use it. And it also kind of combines with quarterly theory, if you guys know how that works. It's an AMD setup as well. These two go really well hand in hand. It's pretty much the same thing. So let's just get right into it. So what are the basics? What is the basic concept of AMD slash Power of 3? What is the general idea that we're working with here? So the general idea is that before anything really happens, we have to have some form of consolidation. This is the first step in AMD slash quarterly. Hold up, actually. Let me do this. Hold up. No, that's not it. Here, do this. No. And then. Restart this. Restart the recording. Da-da-da-da. Perfect. Alrighty, so. Alrighty, everybody. This is going to be a really chill trading session, trading stream, teaching, I guess I would say teaching, class, whatever you guys want to call it. Doesn't really matter. So I just dropped a TikTok about this setup, which is the AMD slash Power of 3 setup concept as well. It is a very powerful tool I think everybody should kind of be using. And I'm going to kind of go in depth and for you guys on how it works, how you use it. This is all live, of course. I live stream every night, or not every night. Every morning I live trade, and then at night I'll typically teach something if I have time. And so today I figured why not follow up the TikTok that I just posted with a live stream slash teaching session. So why not do that as well? So let's kind of just get right into it. So what is AMD? I'll type it out so we can start having it. What is AMD slash Power of 3? Like, what is this thing? So AMD slash Power of 3 is kind of like a market structure thing. It's kind of a concept. It's not in and of itself a trade. You cannot enter off of just like AMD Power of 3. It's not really how it works. How it works is it's a way of looking at the market, way of visualizing structure. So why do we care about this? All right. So if you're in a trade, why would you be like, what do I care about AMD Power of 3? What does that matter to me? This really is important because I feel like it helps define both your daily bias, your draw on liquidity, and helps protect your guys' trades, your risk management especially. So let's kind of get into the basics here. So what is AMD slash Power of 3? If you don't want to watch I made a quick 60-second TikTok, but let's just do a little teaching here. So the first part of it, AMD, the first part, A, stands for accumulation, which is just consolidation. So when price is consolidating and kind of looks like this is the first part of the three-stage AMD. So the first part is accumulation, which means consolidation, all right? So I'll highlight this in white for you guys. So it just means that we're not really doing anything. We're not going up. We're not really going down. We're kind of just taking highs, taking lows, not really trending in a specific direction, right? We're not actually making a nice clean trend. What we're doing is just consolidating. And so this is always going to be the first part of any good trade should start with this. Doesn't mean you trade the chop. You should not be entering trades when we're in this stage, but it just means that this is the beginning parts of the setup and the beginning parts of the concept that we're teaching. So this is accumulation, aka consolidation, aka don't trade this. Should never trade during the chop. If we're chopping like this, you should not be trading this. Just rule number one. That's how you're going to save yourself a lot of headache, a lot of time. Next is the M part of the AMD setup, which is manipulation. So here, I'll actually type this out for you guys. So A is accumulation. We'll actually label it here. Next is M, which is manipulation. Now, for in this instance, I'm going to make it go lower, but it could apply both ways. So it could look like this, or it could look like kind of like this. It could go both ways, higher or lower. Doesn't really matter. And my TikTok just doesn't want to work today for the recording. I guess it literally just kicked everyone out. So for this case, for those who stayed, we're just going to start with assuming this, but it could work both ways. It could be at the highs, it could be at the low. Doesn't really matter. So this stage is manipulation. So what does this actually mean? It means we're going to have a move in a certain direction that is basically a false move. Think of it as like a fake out. I don't know about the term fake out, but that's essentially what it is. It just basically means that this is a move we're doing. Yes, it's finally trending, right? We finally made a lower low. All right, we're trending in a certain direction, but it's not the true move of the day. It's not the actual true move. It is possible to make money off of the move downwards, this manipulation leg, but it's not going to be like, you're not going to want to trade it and then be like setting your take profits super, super low, because if you're working with AMD, then you know that this is not the true move of the day. We're not going to have super, super nice, super long, high risk to reward ratios, that type of stuff, because it's just the manipulation leg. All this is really doing is stopping out everybody that was trading accumulation. So anyone that was in long during this stage, during the manipulation phase gets stopped out. So this is what it's called, manipulation. It works on all time frames, by the way, Joni. This is the manipulation phase. So what this means is like, hey, boom, everybody just got stopped out. Now we have some liquidity. We have something to work with here. Again, you can trade the manipulation leg, but I don't recommend it, especially for beginners, because it can be a bit tricky to kind of understand like the nuances, right? The internal structure, the external structure, exactly. Like there's a lot of nuances in trading the manipulation leg. So I don't typically recommend beginners to trade this, but it is possible to make a lot of money in manipulation. And then the last stage, or the D part of the setup, is distribution. So I will highlight this one in green, and I will put the text here. This is distribution. Put this one kind of like right there, or like right here. So what is distribution? Distribution is the final leg of the move. So we finally have built up liquidity, accumulated, consolidated, whatever we want to call it, finally manipulated, took out all the orders down here at the bottom. Now, typically for me personally, there's other things I want to know besides just the fact that we took a low. Like, you're not going to want to trade, oh, a low was taken, enter longs. Like, obviously you have to have confluences. You have to have reasonings. For example, there's a higher time frame for value gap right here. Let's say there's a 1 hour for value gap, 4 hours, something like that. You want to see more stuff, obviously, than just the low. But this is pretty much the basics, right? The very, very basics. And then that's when we can, this guy again in my live. Let me mute him. I don't know why he does that. Anyways, after all the orders are taken out, after everyone's stopped out, that's when we're finally going to get the distribution leg of the move. That's when this is the best time to trade. This is when you're going to catch, if you ever see somebody catch like really nice high risk to reward ratios, like really nice stuff, this is where you're going to see the best trades. This is where I typically would leave runners. So if you have multiple contracts, this is the leg that you want to leave all those runners. You don't want to really leave runners on the manipulation phase, because obviously we know it's just going to reverse to the upside or to the downside. Again, if you guys didn't see, if you guys weren't here, oh my, I don't know why I said here like that. This works both ways. You could have it look kind of like this, where it goes the opposite. But this is just the demonstration I chose to do because it's the easiest for me to visualize it for you guys. So this is the same thing as Power of 3, by the way. These are, people often get these confused. What is AMD, Power of 3? Like, I don't get it. Like, they're the same thing. They are the same thing. It's the same concept that we're going to accumulate, we're going to manipulate, and we're going to distribute. Now, there is more advanced theories. I can pair this up with you guys if you'd like for me to go into that, how to pair this up with the quarterly theory. How does this match up with sessions? Is there a secret fourth quarter? Which, spoiler alert, there is. There is another leg of this. This is the very, very basics. This is like a very basic concept. You don't need to know the advanced stuff. If you ask me, I think a lot of people could just make the money off this. No need to get too advanced. But me personally, I pair this with a lot of other stuff to start catching those clean trades, clean moves, especially like those long trades, those big ones that go like 20, not 20. Oh my gosh, that's ridiculous. Like a 3x, 4x, risk to reward ratio. That's where you start getting the bigger trades, is on the distribution legs. Alrighty, let me answer some of you guys' questions. Does anyone have any questions on what I just talked about? I know it was a bit of a shorter teaching, but I'll answer your guys' questions. So, any way you could show an example of this? Yeah, I could show some examples in a second, Nolan. Just let me answer the rest of the questions. How do you catch those moves, though, especially after manipulation? You have to have your bias right, and you have to have a nice entry model queue. So you can't just enter, obviously, you know what I'm saying, to just do whatever. You have to have some sort of entry. What indicators show it will enter the manipulation phase? There's not indicators like the way you're thinking of it, like these indicators, not like this, but there are like reasonings that you could say like, okay, we're done with the manipulation, or the manipulation started. There are ways to see that. Do I have to buy a membership to start to me to teach you? No way. I don't sell anything. Unless you mean like TradingView subscription, you might have to, but no, you shouldn't generally have to pay for anything. How much money can you start with per trade? That just depends. All right, so does anyone have any more questions on the teaching itself, this basic model? Does this make sense to everybody? The idea behind it. Obviously, I'll show some examples. I'll kind of show you guys how I use it. But does anyone have any questions about this specifically? And I'm recording this for YouTube, so if anyone missed the first part of the teachings, I can go over it again for you guys, and I'm also recording it as well to upload it for free, of course. I upload it on my YouTube for free. Thoughts on support and resistance, candle closures, high time frame to low time. Also, I don't really trade support and resistance or EMAs or anything like that. I trade different concepts, my friend. Sorry to disappoint. I do trade from the high time frames to low time frames, though. I do that. do. Yes. Okay. No more questions. If not, I can get into some examples. I can get into preparing it with more advanced concepts, such as the quarterly theory concepts, which are very, very important as well if you want to trade this. Bro's literally saying nothing. I mean, you could just scroll Yanni if I'm not saying anything. Yeah, I do know, Lynn. If you want, here's my fib settings. It's these ones. Here you go. Anybody got anything? Can you show us an example after the others that were mentioned? Show VSA. What's VSA, bro? You guys gotta. People be saying acronyms. I need you guys to like type it out. No offense, but just type it out, please, because I don't know. Sometimes you guys are like, "What about this?" I'm like, "I don't know what that is." Alrighty. Let me delete all this stuff. We can delete all these drawings and kind of get into the charts. Now, obviously, this whole week's been consolidation. If you ask me, there's not really a. If you guys look at this just on a zoomed out view, obviously the whole week's been consolidating, but there was a nice example I was seeing earlier. I mean, you don't even have to have super clean price action to kind of just see the whole thing as itself, right? So this is like a continuation version of it, right? It's the same basic idea, and it works on pretty much every time frame that I've seen, at least, right? Same basic idea, right? Even within chop. Obviously, this isn't like the most perfect example, but it's the one I found like literally within a second of looking, right? This is the general idea, right? We have consolidation phase, which is this one was for like an hour, 2 hours actually, from 10 to 12. We had this is the 5 minute. Let me go to the 1 minute. Maybe I can show you guys a little bit better. Where was it? Does anyone remember where I just had? No, I can't show the ones. I don't have enough data. We could do the 3. This looks a bit better. So you have the consolidation phase, right? Nothing's happening. This one for 2 hours. We have a manipulation phase where it went up. As you can see, it ran the highs. And then a lot of people might have gone in long, like, hey, like we're starting to trend upwards. And then that's when we have the distribution phase, which was all the way to the downside right here. So this is an example of a trade you could have taken. I personally didn't, and I wouldn't for other reasons, but this is the same general idea. Does that make sense? What am I? This is Nasdaq, Kyler. What do you? Does that kind of make sense, guys? If you missed the first half of the stream, you might be confused, but this is the general idea behind the trade. Why wouldn't I? Personally, because it's out of my range of time that I trade on. So I personally don't trade after 11 a.m. New York time. That's just because I'm busy. Like I have things I have to do in the day, so I can't trade this. Um, but now I'm getting more into the PM session as well. PM session has their own things as well, so I'm starting to get more into that. But that one's just more of a preference. I prefer not to trade after a certain time period. It doesn't mean the trade's necessarily invalid. I mean, this isn't an invalid trade. It just means like personally. Radius has a good point. A lot of setups. Too bad one social post from Trump can bomb it. That's true. That's true. What else? Let's see if there's any other like decent examples. I mean, examples are kind of everywhere if you literally look for it. But I want like a clean one that's not like too nuanced, you know? Kind of like this one. Again, this one does have a bit of nuance to it, but it's the same general idea, right? Behind every move, it's the same thing, right? You have the somewhere it consolidates, somewhere it manipulates, and then somewhere it distributes. This is just basically how markets work. I've never really seen, I'll never really see a move anywhere without it consolidating first, and that's just how it is. I've never seen that. Like we're not gonna trend and then trend higher and then trend higher forever. Eventually, it has to consolidate. And when it consolidates, it always manipulates. Like I've never seen it where it consolidates, doesn't take out some form of a low or a high, and then just rip to the upside. Like I've never seen this. Just straight up, no move to the downside at all. Like I don't really see that. And if it is, it's because something crazy happened. We got war news or something like that, or something got bombed or something. You guys know what I'm saying? Any other questions, guys? Any other questions? This is just a follow-up to the TikTok I literally just uploaded like 10 minutes ago. 20 minutes ago at this point. Does everything make sense? Does anyone have any questions? If you missed the stream, I will be uploading this on YouTube as well. So you guys don't have to, you didn't miss much. You can just watch the recording. Anyone have any questions about the setup, AMD setup, which is this one? Oops. Okay, I just screwed over my whole chart. Let's do this. Unstable internet. What is with my Wi-Fi, bro? What's happening, man? Okay, this was what I was discussing for today. Let me just draw it out for you guys really quick. Something like that. What do you use? I'm new, trying to begin. This is TradingView, bro. Actually, I'm gonna end the recording here. If no one has any questions, does anyone have any questions about this setup before I end the recording? Because if not, then I'll just switch to like a normal Q&A, like a general trading Q&A, not the specific teaching. Any questions about AMD or Power of 3? Anybody? If no one's got any, I'll end the recording here. And then I'll switch now. The recording's done. Now this is going to be a general trading Q&A. Now you guys can ask any questions about trading. Anything you guys got on your mind. And I'll do this for a few minutes before I have to go. I only have a few more minutes. Alrighty, let's get going. So ZT asks, what platform do I use? This is TradingView, and I use my funded futures as my prop firm. Trump speaks after market close, and I lose 4,500. Yikes. Sorry to hear that, bro. How much should I start with? If you're starting, you should start with paper trading, which is free. What's my strategy? I just kind of went over it, Sona. You kind of missed it. Can you check out the chart for? I can look at it, but I don't really trade. I don't know what this company even is. This doesn't really mean anything to me. Explain the basics you think is good to know as a beginner. What I just went over it. The power of three. I can go over again really quickly for anyone who missed it. Um, power of three that I just explained is super good for beginners to know. Am I gonna trade Asia? No, I'm gonna hop on Minecraft after this. Okay, that was the VSA thing someone asked me to do. Swing trading. What about swing trading? Okay, so two people asked about power of three again. So I'll show power of three slash AMD. It's the same thing. So I'll go over it again. I'll make a little. What is AMD slash power of three? I'll make the little thing for you guys again. I'll draw it out for you guys. Oops, not the best drawing I've ever done, but okay, it's really quickly. This is AMD, yeah, Minecraft. I have a Minecraft server in the little trading Discord I run, so that we got on the community. So I'm literally just gonna hop on that after this. Okay. So for who was asking, Cheston. So this is it. So AMD slash Power of Three is this pretty basic concept, which is that for any move that we're gonna have in the market, we're gonna have first consolidation, which is the first. This is accumulation. I don't know why they call it this, but it's just the general term we use. So accumulation, aka consolidation, aka chop. So when markets chop first, that's the first stage, I would say, first step. After we chop, we're gonna make a false move, like a move that it's not really the real move of the day. Yes, you can make money off of it if you know how to trade it, but you're not. This is not the real move of the day. It's not what market really is going to do for the entire day. After the manipulation phase, after everyone gets stopped out, is when we have the distribution phase. Distribution. That's what AMD is, and I recorded the video for you guys so you guys can see the full video. I just like 20 minutes, the first 20 minutes of the stream. And then I also just uploaded a TikTok literally like 20 minutes ago, kind of explaining it as well. But is there any questions about this? Any questions about that? Cheston, I think he was the one who asked, or Julie. Does this make sense to you too? Or does anyone else have any questions? Anyone else listening like I don't really get it. Like, how do you do this, or X or Y or Z? How do you guys feel? Sounds pretty upfront, right? This is yeah, you use the top wick and the bottom wick. You wouldn't use the like a middle wick. You'd want to use the highest high or the lowest low of the range. Make sense, everybody? Does this AMD's concept make sense? Is this kind of like, all right, like we understand, makes sense? Or are you guys like, no, I'm confused. How do you trade this? Or if you're like, okay, I understand it, but no, it's not always down peaceful. So it could also look like this. It's just the general term. It could also look like kind of like this, right? It's the opposite way, where it can go for the upside and then to the downside. It doesn't have to always be up. It could be down as well. This is on the 4 hour or any time frame, Mr. Motivation. Now, obviously, the higher time frame ones play out a lot better. Obviously, you're not going to want to just trade the 1 minute, but you can technically use this idea on any time frame. And it actually, little spoiler here, it's used on every time frame at the same time. What? That makes no sense. 80 trades, you just lost me. Do you guys want me to explain that idea a bit more? Right now, probably yes. And I could look at the chart, but what? 80 trades. What do you mean that it's doing it at the same time on every time frame? What? That makes no sense. You guys want me to explain that? You kind of get it explained. Okay, I'll do a really quick explanation and then I gotta go. So, everybody pay attention. Get out your notebooks. Write this down, notepad or whatever. I'll get down into how does this happen on every time frame at the same time. So let me clear out all my drawings and get to the actual chart here. So if we go to, let's say the 4 hour. Let's say the 4 hour. Let's see if we can find a good time. Let's just look at this week. If we look at this, what is this? Do you guys, like, what is this? Oh, hold up. Let me text back real quick. Hold up. Sorry. I had to respond back. All right. Sorry. This on the 4 hours, obviously accumulation, right? This is the consolidation. But if we zoom in the whole range, like remember, this is the 4-hour just consolidation. But if we zoom in here on the 15, we see more and more detail, right? So let's go to the 5 even. So within this consolidation, there's more AMD setups. Does that make sense? Look, there's one right here. Here, let me delete the big white one here. Actually, I'll do this. No background. So within this box, right, this is the same 4-hour accumulation within this range, but within the accumulation of a 4-hour version of the AMD, we have a 5-minute version of the AMD. What? Here, look at it. Does that make sense, guys? What? Oh, is it kind of clicking now? This is what I mean by there's the same thing on every time frame at the same time. Does that make sense? So while the 4-hour is barely in the accumulation stage, if you zoom in and other time frames or lower time frames, we have the same move. It's fractal. You guys know what fractals are? It means it's the same thing folding like almost in on itself, multiple versions of itself on lower time frames. So while the 4-hour is still barely chopping, right? Remember, on the 4-hour, this is just chop. Remember that. This is just chop on the 4-hour. But in between, inside of that 4-hour, we have this 5-minute model playing out. Does that make sense? You guys understand what I'm saying? Or do you guys want me to explain a little bit better? Any questions, statements? Kinda, ZT. Does anyone want to explain what they might be a little confused on? Feel free to share. Does using AI for trading work? Not really, Liam. Depending on what you're saying. When you join a chart, where do you start? What do you mean let you down? What do you mean join a chart? Does that concept make sense to you guys? Fractal price, multi-time frame analysis. Did that just make sense on why the same thing happens on every time frame at the same time? Which I know sounds confusing. When I open a chart, where do I start? Oh, I start with the overnight, see what we did. Hindsight, where'd you learn on your own? Just watch some videos. This is all stuff I learned for free. It's why I teach for free. So you're asking like, oh, how would you actually trade this? Is it just hindsight? Partially, obviously, to an extent, it's hindsight. But, and this is not a time I would trade. This is overnight session. So if you're trading London or Asia, this would be your setup. But how would you actually enter on the green box in real time? If I was trading this, first things first, I have to already be bullish. You can't really trade AMD without having an idea of where the market wants to go. Like, yeah, say we want to go up to where? You know, obviously, that's where you start using the higher time frame. So if you guys remember when I said the 4 hours accumulating. So if we're working with this range and the 4 hours still accumulating, are you going to want to take a long? And like, let's say you take a long at the very top of it and say you're going to start moving out of the range of the accumulation. No, that makes no sense because we just stated that we're not going to really break past the full range that we've already established for ourselves. Does that make sense? So if you were trading this, you're not going to want to leave it running forever. You wouldn't even trade this whole range. You would probably trade something like this, a small, very small amount. And personally, you need to have an entry model as well. Yes, you can be bullish. Like, let's say you're trading this. You're like, okay, I think it's going to go up. Why? We had the accumulation, we had the manipulation, blah, blah, blah. But you don't just enter off of the sweep because if you look here, there was the first sweep, and then look, it came back and swept out again. This is a more advanced concept. It's called internal liquidity. And someone asked earlier, how do you know when the manipulation is over? Typically speaking, this is when I know it's over. Is when we not only sweep this external liquidity or the higher time frame or the entire range, right? This whole consolidation range is liquidity. Not only did we sweep that, we actually made more sell side liquidity and then swept that again. That is typically when I believe the manipulation leg is going to be over. And again, there has to be more narrative, right? Typically, you want to see a fair value gap. Like, let's say we're in a 1 hour fair value gap. Obviously, I don't know if we are or not, but you guys understand what I'm saying? And then my entry model for this one, if I was trading it, it's not an entry exit strategy, M13. It's not. It's just a concept that you work with for your exit strategy. So if you were trading this, you would say, okay, we have the AMD. Now, where am I going to enter precisely? Then that's when you could say, oh, like we have this inversion here, we have displacement here. You know, you would enter off a fair value gap or something. Then you would set the stop at the low. Personally speaking, I always just target the high of the consolidation. So like this little phase here, you could choose, you know, this high, any of the highs from the consolidation. Obviously, if your bias is completely right, it's gonna run like crazy. But I wouldn't be expecting like this is a what 7-1 risk or 1-7. Obviously, this is a bit more of an extreme example. I would personally just aim for the high of the consolidation. It's fairly consistent. 2-1, like that's solid. Do you have a Discord or something I can join so I can learn? I do have one. It's free. Everything I teach is always free. So don't be joining and expecting to have like a private VIP. You guys are already in the VIP by joining my live stream. You guys are all the VIPs of my Discord because I don't pay for, you guys. I don't charge for nothing. But you don't always get that pattern of consolidation. Well, you kind of do, Humble. Maybe not at the time you want it. For example, this was overnight, and I wouldn't have traded it because I was sleeping at this time. But there's always going to be some form of consolidation. It's just a matter of whether you're going to get what you like after that. Does that make sense? There's always this. It's markets do not move without consolidation. You cannot show me like a week, like just show me a week of trading where there was zero consolidation at all. It just doesn't happen. It just doesn't. There's always going to be some form of consolidation. Are you going to have a perfect pattern every time? Absolutely not. But you guys understand what I'm saying? This is always going to exist in the markets. As far as I've been trading for a little while, and I have not seen this be patched. This method's not patched because it's not really patchable. You guys understand what I'm saying? It's just kind of how it works. Does that make sense? Does anyone have any more questions? I will start wrapping up the stream, but before I go, I have some things I want to talk really quickly. But first, questions. Does anyone have any questions about what I just said about fractal price, AMD? How would you trade that setup? Does anyone have any questions? How do I even... So this can be implemented on any time frame? Yes, it can. On any time frame. You can look on multiple times. Obviously, if you're trading the monthly... I don't think that's okay. Maybe I won't say any time frame. Obviously, if you're trading like the monthly time frame, there's nothing here to trade. But I would say pretty much any time frame. 4 hours, it's gonna be there. 1 hour, it's gonna be there. 15-minute, it's gonna be there on every time frame. It's always doing something. One of those three things. What platform do I day trade on? I use TradingView. After consolidation, you're looking for manipulation. How long do you know until the distribution plays out? That's when you kind of have to use a few other things as well. You're going to want, like I said, as I just explained, I don't know if you were here for it. That's when you're going to want to look for internal manipulation, which is when we sweep the internal liquidity, which I kind of just, it's kind of hard to, not hard to explain, but that's more time to explain. I could answer it if you guys would like. But you need to look for manipulation to be over. How do you know when manipulation is over? Whenever we stop respecting manipulation price action. Does that make sense? Whenever we stop moving lower. Which I know, but not just stop moving lower, but it's like there's things you look for as well. Is Fidelity good? I don't think so. You can day trade on Fidelity, bro. All right, I'll show you Humble Life. I'll show you. So, when would you have guessed that this manipulation leg was done for? Yes, you can look for market structure shift. That's one of them for sure. But there's another thing that I like to see personally. This is it's not a secret. People know this stuff, but you guys don't. If you guys don't know it, then it's pretty good stuff. So when would you have guessed, as you were trading this live, that we were ready to manipulate, to distribute to the upside? How would you have known? All right. For example, this low. This was the first low of the leg. If you were trading just this part, you would say, oh, liquidity was taken in consolidation, time to go long. And if you see this, it actually went up quite a bit. This is a pretty strong candle. You guys understand what I'm saying? But this is where that extra stuff comes in. You can't just look at this as a model, as your pure entry and exit. This is where you have to start stacking confluences, is what I call it, other reasoning. So the reason I wouldn't have entered this trade is because there was no resweep of the internal, aka the liquidity we just made. This is called internal liquidity. You see how we made a low and we moved higher. Now this is the new low. We took out the range low, yes, but now we're making another low. Typically, if I want to enter for the distribution leg, I need to see this low get taken again. Or if it doesn't get taken, there should be some form of divergence between this and the S&P 500. Does that make sense? On why you wouldn't want to enter just off this first leg. There has to be something else. But didn't it get taken? What do you mean? That's what I just said. Like, yeah, we took it again twice. You have to take this low originally, and then you wait for the secondary leg, this one right here that I'm pointing at. Can you guys see that on TikTok? To get taken, that's when, like I said, SMT and stuff, that's when you start stacking. And then that's when you know the distribution's ready. Yes. Does that make sense, everybody? Anybody have any questions? It's making sense. I mean, it's obviously you guys aren't probably gonna get it right away, but it's kind of just like a intro. I make the video right now. I'll make the in-depth video as well, explaining it, and then I just uploaded the TikTok. If you're like, okay, that was like 20 minutes of yapping, give me like the 1 minute short version. I literally just uploaded the TikTok video, like right before stream. So it can be humble. It can be. But that's typically you typically want to see different things if you're trading that model instead. But they definitely can stack, especially higher time frames. Does that make sense, everybody? Does that make sense? If you guys like the free explanations, free teachings, I do this literally every day, every morning as well at 10 a.m. Free on TikTok, where I don't charge you guys for anything. I don't promote anything. I don't sell anything to you guys. If you guys like the free teachings, free everything, always will be, then feel free to drop a follow, because I'll be live again tomorrow for the New York AM session. And I might even be live for the PM session if I don't have work. If I have work, then I might not be able to do it. I have to check my schedule. I forgot. But I do this literally every day for free. And if you guys want a free community, that I'm literally, after the stream, going to hop on our Minecraft server. I just made a Minecraft server for our little community. Then feel free to join. We literally have a free Minecraft server. We hang out, we talk, we play games. It's fun. It's free. I don't have a premium version. If you guys appreciate that, then feel free to join the Discord. If no one has any more questions, speak now or forever hold your peace. I see a few of you guys been here for a few minutes. Feel free to ask any questions before I head out. Like I said, I will be in the Discord right now. I'm literally about to leave and just join and play Minecraft on the server. So you guys can play with me if you'd like, for free, like I said. Thanks for the real advice. Always. You guys see the big old red, no mentorships, no courses, no BS stuff. I mean it. It's not just a gimmick. What's the Minecraft? The Minecraft server is in the Discord. And to get to the Discord, just click on my profile. There's like a link tree. And then in that link tree, it has the Discord, and then you can join from there. There's like a little channel called Minecraft server, and then you see the IP on there. I'm literally gonna join right after the stream. Alrighty. Oh, what am I trading? This is Nasdaq now. I don't know if you can really see it on TikTok because it cuts off a lot of the screen, but it's Nasdaq 100 futures. Alrighty. Who was I watching on YouTube? They don't make content anymore, and they got exposed for being a fraud, unfortunately. Share the Discord? Yeah, the Discord's in my profile. Oh, share the link? Sure, I got you. I'll share the link here in the chat. Invites. Link, copy. Okay. Okay. Also, there you go. There's a link in the chat right now. I just dropped it. Alrighty, everybody. Appreciate everyone for listening to my quick little teaching session. I'll be live again tomorrow Don't forget it. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern time, I will be live again, trading my live account for you guys for free. Who else does it for free? Nobody else does it for free. So if you guys appreciate that, then I'll see you guys tomorrow. I gotta head out. Peace out. Everybody have a good night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Make sure you drop a follow. Bye.
Homie,
What? Scare me.
well, take the trash out. You said you took it out, but the trash is there.
Trash can. Okay, let me do that and then I got back to what I was doing. It might be down. I'll check it. Should be up though.
You just got out the shower? Bro, come on, bro.
Oh, this kid. Hurry up, bro.